One of the biggest things that helped my brand move forward was not something new that I learned. It was something I had to unlearn. And this is something I don't think we talk about enough. When you're building a brand, everyone tells you what to add. Add this strategy, add this platform, add this offer, add this idea. But sometimes growth doesn't come from adding more. It actually comes from removing what doesn't fit anymore. When I started rebuilding my brand, LaMorvielle Fashions, I carried a lot of old habits with me. Habits from past businesses, habits from past roles, and habits from things that worked a long time ago. And at first I thought that experience would make things a lot easier. But what I didn't realize was that I was trying to rebuild something new while still operating like the old version. I was holding on to ways of thinking that didn't match where I was trying to go at that moment. For example, I kept thinking I needed to explain everything all at once, every service, every idea, every possibility. I thought clarity meant giving more information, but instead it created a lot of noise for me, not just for my audience, but for me, myself. It actually took me a while to see that the problem wasn't the effort that I was putting in. It was the alignment, the direction that I was going. Sometimes we don't need more knowledge or information. We actually just need to let go of what no longer matches the direction that we're heading in. If your brand is trying to grow in a new direction, but your habits still belong to the old one, you're going to feel stuck. Not because you're doing nothing at all, but because you're doing things that don't belong in that space anymore. There were moments where I would sit down to plan content and I would feel pulled in too many different directions. Part of me wanted to talk the way that I used to and do things that I used to. And then part of me wanted to try something completely different. But at the same time, part of me worried about getting it all wrong. And that tension, that confusion actually made decisions slow down for me. You start to second guess the simple choices. You delay posting. You adjust things that didn't even need adjusting in the first place. And it ends up being a lot more of a busy work than actually being productive. So from the outside, it looks like there's a lot of activity happening, but on the inside, it feels like there's a lot of friction and confusion. If you've ever felt like you're working hard, but things still feel very heavy, you might not need a new strategy. You might need to release the old one that you had. Brands grow when their actions match their intention. If you want to build something clear, your behavior has to become clear as well. If you want to build something focused, then your decisions have to become focused as well. You can't carry 10 different directions into a brand that needs only one. Once I started simplifying instead of expanding the things I had, everything became a lot easier. I didn't need to say everything. I didn't need to reach everyone. I didn't even need to solve every problem at once. I just needed to stay consistent with the direction I had already chosen. That's when the work started to feel so much easier and lighter for me. Unlearning is very uncomfortable because it feels like stepping away from the things that you once believed were very important. But unlearning is also what makes space for new clarity. You're going to stop trying to prove something and you'll start trying to build something. And those are the very different mindsets that you need. Behind every brand that looks clear on the outside, there was usually a season of simplifying on the inside, a season of letting go, a season of refining, a season of deciding what actually matters to the brand. Growth doesn't always require more effort. Sometimes it requires fewer distractions. The strongest brands are not the ones doing the most. They are the ones that are doing what matters over and over again. If your brand feels stuck, ask yourself what you may need to unlearn, not what you need to add. Building something meaningful is not just about learning new skills. It's also about having the courage to release what no longer fits in your current position. That's part of the process, and it's a normal part of growth. So, if you're building your brand and learning how to simplify along the way, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episode. I truly appreciate your support, friend. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, then like and subscribe to support Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. And if you are struggling with your brand impact, then watch the next video.